I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're joining us. Here at Outsourced Doers, we get to walk you through this process, which very few people do, right? We get to make sure that your outsourcing journey, your results are as amazing as they can possibly be, right? And remember, when I'm talking results, I'm talking namely, you get more life in your business while still being able to grow it. Grow your revenue, grow your profit, right? So congratulations, you're in the right place. Just in case we haven't met yet, my name is Grace Lever. I'm the co-founder here of Outsourced Doers and also the founder of another business, The Doers Way. Whether you're in startup stage or growth stage or you're scaling like $1 million or multi-million-dollar business, I get it. I've been there. I can totally relate. It's a pretty crazy ride, yeah? I'm really glad to tell you today, though, that I work about 1 day a week, right? And we still generate almost $30 million a year. So I want to let you know I figured it out. I know how to build businesses that aren't just profitable, but are also lifestyle friendly too, right? And I don't say this to brag or to boast, like I'm only here by the grace of God. I say it to let you know that there's hope. Right? If you're feeling stressed or trapped or exhausted, that was like what I was feeling, stressed, trapped and exhausted. If you're feeling that in your business, if you've been burned out, I've been there. I burned out, right? The way I was operating my business, it ended up with me in hospital with cancer, right? I felt trapped in business before. Like there's no way out of this beast thing that you've created that you end up resenting. Like this business that took everything from me and somehow still wasn't profitable, right? Like I get it. But now I've kind of figured it out. I've done it. And you can too. That's the whole reason we created Outsourced Doers. I was like, I want to show other people how to do this, right? How to build a profitable lifestyle business and just stop being your own underpaid employee in your own business. Okay, so we gotcha. Also, make sure you've got a pen and paper ready to go. A quick question, just so that we know where you're at. Can you let us know? I've got my slides down here as well, a version of them. Can you let us know, is this your first hire or your next hire? And if it's your next hire, have you already got an offshore virtual assistant? Or do you have like local team members, right? So we just want to know where you're at right now. Is this your first hire or your next hire? And if it's your next hire, maybe just tell us who you've already got in your team. Like next hire, I've already got 2 virtual assistants, or I've already got a team of 25 locally, or it's my very first hire. Or I've got 3 locals and 1 virtual assistant already. But I hired my first virtual assistant back in 2013, Janelle. And he's still with us today. He's our longest standing team member across all of our companies. He's a champion, right? It's just me and Janelle back in the day. And so he's a leader in Outsourced Doers in the exec team, like a pivotal part of the exec team as well. So I know only too well that first moment when you first hire a team member, particularly if this is your first hire, it's a bit intimidating, right? Like, where do you start? Where do you find the time? You're doing this because you're already too busy, right? Hands down, it's the decision I'm most proud of. That moment when you say, you know what, enough. Like, I'm not going to keep going this way. I'm going to start working smarter, not harder. Like, this is nuts. This isn't sustainable. This isn't long lasting. All right, whether you're in startup stage or growth stage, or perhaps you might have been in business for decades and you're in that scaling stage, this outsourcing, it's a thing that successful founders do, right? Every time. They recognize that they can't be everything for everyone all of the time. Yeah, like they recognize the power in their business is when their to-do list is only doing what they do best. And they let someone else do the rest, right? That's the whole point of Outsourced Doers. You do what you do best and let your doer do the rest. Yeah, that's why you're here, right? So the problem is, and this is the whole reason for this series, when we first started Outsourced Doers in the early days, right, in our first cohort, I realized as we started matching people, I realized that just us training the doer, right, like teaching the doer graphic design and digital marketing and tech and business admin and having them sit exams and all those things that we kind of cram into their training program and all that support that we put around them and team leaders and the ongoing training, that in itself is still not enough. Even though it's a lot and more than what most companies do, it's still not enough, right? We've learned that founders can self-sabotage, and this might be ringing true to you right now. Like they can self-sabotage their potential for outsourcing, like their potential for lifestyle in their business, and there's a few reasons for it. Everyone's completely different, right? Like maybe for you it might be something around not being able to let go or hand over. Or maybe it might be something around micromanaging and perfectionism. That was what I was back in the day. Or it might be something around not briefing well enough or thinking that your doer can like read your mind. Or the other extreme where you think your doer is like your strategic partner in your business and you just say, oh, you make all the decisions and you make all the strategy and I don't need to take responsibility for my business now, right? Or sometimes it's a cultural thing, like a lack of respect or a superiority complex that the founder has towards their doer. Or sometimes it's just as simple as I just don't know how to take the tasks I'm currently doing and put them onto my doer's plate. Like practically, I don't know how to do this, right? And make sure that the results are good quality. Yeah, so we know from experience in working with thousands of founders at Outsourced Doers, we know that the founders can self-sabotage a doer that could have been an awesome relationship, right? And getting things off their plate for life. So that's the whole point of this masterclass. If I don't equip you with the skills and the strategy and the steps that you need to be a great leader, be a great boss, then everything else we share with you moving forward is just going to be a complete waste of your time, a complete waste of my time, complete waste of your doer's time. Okay? So if you want to stop doing the tech, if you want to stop doing the things that you hate doing, if you want to stop working weekends and evening, if you want to get your life back, if you want to release tasks off your to-do list so that you never have to do them again, right? Things that either you just don't like doing or you're really bad at. We've all got those things. If you want to have more time to focus on the things that actually matter in your business, like the selling and the marketing and not get all caught up in the weeds, if that sounds like you, then you're in the right place. Okay, so let's get started. Pen and paper out. Let's get really clear and clarify. I just want to make it clear that we're on the same page when it comes to Outsourced Doers and your virtual assistant, right? So a virtual assistant is essentially an offshore worker. They're usually in a developing nation or in a location that's really affordable. That's kind of the whole point, to have team members in that location. So they're not in your physical location, and all communication is done virtually, hence virtual assistant. So using virtual tools and chat and virtual project management tools and stuff like that. And because they're not required to be physically present in your office, there's a decreased cost. Like you don't need to buy them a computer or rent an office or get them all set up with furniture or anything like that, like you would with probably a local team member. Plus the fact that they're remote allows you to have more freedom to be remote as well. It allows you to work from anywhere because you're not needed to be in a physical location. So it gives you a whole heap more freedom as a founder. So we've had founders travel on yachts for months at a time, right? Others relocate to look after elderly family members who needed to be looked after, right? You just got a whole heap more flexibility in not having to be tied to a physical office. Our virtual assistants are based in the Philippines. So, and it's different to other Filipino outsourcing companies who just go out and hire you a team member and then go, good luck, right? We hated that about the industry when we started, right? And how impossible it made it for us and for everyday entrepreneurs. Like it just doesn't work. You're on your own. If you've never done it before, you're stuffed, right? The whole goal in Outsourced Doers, it's about going so much further than that. Like our doers come trained in best practice methods of digital marketing and graphic design and tech and admin and all that kind of stuff that matters in online business. And you want to know the crazy thing? This is nuts. Did you know the number one cause of outsourcing failure, hands down, is founder attitude? Like it goes beyond the tools you're using in your business or the industry you're in or the task that you decide to outsource first. None of that matters as much as your founder attitude, right? It's the biggest determination of success when it comes to outsourcing. So when I first started researching this, when I first started Outsourced Doers, and I was looking at how important the founder attitude was, and I was like, oh, I'm not really sure if that's true. I think that's just in that particular case. And I was thinking, our doers are going to be really well trained, so this won't be a problem, right? Wrong. After working with now well over 1,000 founders, we've realized this is definitely true. Founder attitude matters. Founder mindset matters. And the thing that really fascinates me, which I don't understand, there's a stark difference between how founders approach work done by local staff versus work done by offshore staff. I don't know why. Even if it's the same piece of work, the same project, the way founders tend to outsource it and hand it over, it's completely different, depending on whether they're briefing someone local or offshore. So to force your success in outsourcing, to make sure that you're approaching this right, what I want to do right now is walk through the top 5 mindset rules, the top 5 principles of a successful founder mindset, okay?